Okay, I'm guessing this is finally working right now. This is my second attempt to record this episode of Behind the Scenes of NES Ripping, or NSF Ripping, idiot. Okay, and what shall I talk about now this time? Well, it's a bipolar European only released game, which is the Smurfs, composed by Alberto José González Pedraza, and I'm probably butchered that name since I don't speak Spanish. I'm pretty much happy that I can speak somewhat fluently in English, at least when it comes to my shitty hobby, at least. So, what's my biggest gripe about this game in particular? Okay, so the biggest idiotic thing that I just discovered in this is just the following. But before I am talking about that, let's talk about what are these. These are jump commands in the sound engine. Jumps can be helpful. It's some more kind of like labels when it comes to programming in some form, and it doesn't have this many jumps as this sound engine does. I will get a little bit into later why it happens with this one. And when it comes to mapper games like these, when you have a lot of jumps, for the idiot rippers it is a little bit easier to work with overall, unless you don't have to write extremely the long, tedious, and otherwise just pain in the ass initialization codes to work the damn thing. So you can actually try some of the addresses, and stupid Windows 7 again. So I'm trying these address in it at 8006 and plate is 8003 of memory address, and holy crap, we just found a sound effects engine. So easy. Yes, of course. But what about the music? Now you might think, okay, we've triggered one song. It pretty much means that this whole thing is located in here. So you're probably wondering, maybe you just need a tag or text command into that and to jump to the whole engine, but that's not the case here, my dear friends. What our good friend Gonzalez did for Alberto is really weird, to say at least. Every single subtune has its own initialization core. Yeah, what the fuck. It is pretty much anything you would see in any normal NSF, or at least here. This is pretty much the only one that I'm dealt with so far which has this kind of thing. So to fix this kind of problem, here is a big ass fucking initialization system built upon that. So what can we do? Well, we change our offset where our initialization core is starting, and there we go. We have a memory weaver here, and if I can enlarge this a little bit, just a little bit. Now, if I'm using the arrow keys left and right on my keypad, this player will move to the next song. So see, when I press the button, like now, these little access memory are changing back and forth because it just really inits the one song and now it jumps to the second init, so it's the initialization course in the initialization course, or aka initialization. It's really bizarre, to say at least, but this is the only kind of way that I was able to do this. The public NSFs ignored this thing and they kind of wrote something like an initialization sequence which search the high and low bytes, and those are insanely hard to program, at least for me, and I just discovered this is how it should have been like, even though it makes no sense whatsoever. This is the proper Smurfs rip. And now we jump into that supposed sound effects initialization core. So now this is the last one, and here are some random ass memory garbage. Yay! Gotta love those. Even more garbage. Garbage is also can be indicated when there is some sort of heavy shit going on in the RAM. So, why there is this many track numbers? Well, here is the second part of the initialization course, initialization core. You might ask what the hell this bit does. And let's change back to our normal init core, or how the NSF was supposed to be like. It has a custom init and a custom play code. We don't need any of this bullshit. Okay, now, so do you see that those little bits? Probably not. I just made here a little adjustment to the code. Why? Because let's see what happens when I branch through. This is the last byte of the code, and whoa, it's so slow right now. Well, this is, my friend, the kind of NTSC conversion how it was supposed to be like in most NSF files. Which purpose is like to slow down the PAL NSF, and if you change the region, it will correspond to an NTSC one. However, it's not like what you really get on the console to be speed up like hell, which I think it's kind of shit, but this is what really happened on a console. However, you can do in an NSF that to retain the tempo normally. So yeah, it's pretty much if you, yes. So it's kind of like the ball game played on an NTSC pitch or some sorts. And actually, if I am correct, this kind of thing happens if I would like to play this game on a Dandy console. Because what the Dandy does, it only slows down NTSC games, but not PAL. So if I grab my PAL copy of Smurfs and play it on Dandy via converter, it would retain the speed, however the pitch would be up a little bit. Yeah, shit shocker, doesn't it? This is one of those reasons, one of those tiny parts when a Dandy is a little bit more useful when it comes to these kind of games. However, there's a big problem with Smurfs, if I'm correct, in a few areas where the cat's sprite goes apeshit, the final boss sprites go apeshit, and the WoW level 8 goes just nuts. That's program behavior issue right there. So that's all about this episode, I guess, for today. And yeah, I just wanted to show you how different composers and programmers did their own thing in the NES programming scene. And by the way, this code fixer thing wasn't written by me originally, it was Karmic, but it was my idea. Some sorts. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode and see you next time, guys.